Hi everyone, it's Charlotte here from Funky Makers. So we're going to do some eco-friendly crafts with you this afternoon. What we're going to do is this star, colourful star, lovely for Christmas. And this is really good use of the children's old comics and magazines because they're really colourful, and as you can see you get the really colourful effect on here. So I'm going to show you how to make that. So I'm going to move the screen down, screen of my laptop down, so that you're only going to see my hands from now. What you need for this project is any magazines will do, but the more colourful the better. So comics are great because they've got really good colour. Gardening magazines are great as well because you get quite a lot of colour in them as well. But it does look good in white. So if you've got just a standard magazine, that would be fine too. Any paper works. So I use this for cutting the paper. It's just an old bone handle butter knife, and you're going to need a pencil or a pen as well. That helps you increase the sharpness of the folds. Double-sided tape or glue would be good. So what I'm going to do is use the double-sided tape because I'm recording the video and I need things to happen quickly. But if you're using glue at home, you will just need to hold it for a couple of minutes to allow the glue to dry. And to be honest, I think the glue works better. I think it holds better, holds for longer when you do use it. But as I said, I'm going to use the tape on this one. So let's start. I'm just going to move the screen down so that you can see what my hands are doing. There we go. So I'm going to open up the magazine to the centre pages. There we go. And I'm going to take some pages out of the middle. There we go. And I'm just going to slide this into the gap in here. So I've taken 2 lots of pages out, so this is going to give me 4 pages. So just slide the knife along like that and it cuts my pages nicely. From now on, I'm only going to use 1 page at a time. So I'm going to fold over here. Now you keep your edges together at both ends and the front, and you get a nice fold. So you run your fingers along first on the fold edge, and then use the pencil because we're going to push the pencil down. And what happens is by doing that, you get a much sharper crease. You can hardly see that that's doubled over. You get a much sharper crease on the fold. So this time we're going to cut this one in half again, and then we're going to start folding. So we're going to make paper strips that we're going to use. So I've made some earlier so that I'm not going to bore you to tears by folding all of the strips that we need. And as you can see, you can decide which side to fold to because you can decide what colours that you might want showing up. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to run my pencil along to get a sharper crease. I need to fold again to get this. So we're making the strips this time. So push down with your fingers to make the initial crease, and then you push along with a pencil to get a sharper crease. And then we're going to fold one more time. So it's you're taking the paper down to about 1 centimetre. Now, just be careful that you line up the front and the back. Okay, push down with your fingers and run your pencil along here. So the first piece that we need to do is the centre. So we're doing that bit in the middle. So the other thing that you need your pencil for is to help you break down the fibres in the paper. So we need to roll this, but at the moment this is quite straight. So what we need to do is to just run your pencil along the length. So you're breaking down the fibres in it so that it's an easy one. It's easy to roll when you get going. So I need 5 of these, so I'm going to break down the fibres in the 5 so that I can get my centre roll done and that they're all ready for me. So you just do that, and it sometimes tries to come out of its fold, so you might just need to hold it and do it a bit at a time. And as you can see, the paper flops a bit, and that makes it much easier to roll it, and it stays really tight when you do it like this as well. Okay, so one more. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to start by rolling. So you need to really tight roll, little fold at the start to get it going, and you just keep rolling. Okay, so you need to fold it over and over a few times to start getting a wheel going. If the paper starts to buckle, just push it back in here, because you will get the paper starting to buckle out a bit, and just hold it down. So now that I've got it to this size, I'm going to put my finger over the top and my thumb on the bottom, and now I'm just going to roll it round like this, so it actually becomes a little bit easier to manage. And you just keep rolling. Okay, so we get to the end, and we need probably about 2 or 3 centimeters left open at the end. And what we're going to do is slide the next piece into this fold. So I'm going to grab the next piece that I'm going to work with, and I'm just going to pop it into that fold there, and just clamp down on it with my finger and thumb and roll it round. So you need to keep hold of it while you're rolling it, and you really need to keep hold of it until you cover it again, the next one, because otherwise it might pop out like here. So now we're excuse me. Now we've gone round and we're over it, so we're going to keep rolling with this. And then we're going to do the same. So we've got a gap that we've left at the end. We're going to slide that in there. So it goes in 2 or 3 centimeters in, so it stays nice and tight. And we just keep rolling. You can see those nice colours are building up in there. Okay, so we've gone round here again, and we're going to grab another one and we're going to slide that into the gap. And we're going to keep rolling. So just make sure that you're holding your roll reasonably tight as you're going round, as you're doing it. So you go all the way round, and we're on our last one. We're going to slide that in there, and we're going to go all the way around again. Now, if your strips are slightly uneven, you may get a little bit of, it might not be so neat on the back, but that really doesn't matter. You keep one side neat, and then the other side of this isn't quite so neat. There's some edges, but that doesn't matter at all. Okay, so we've got this nice neat roll here. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use my double-sided tape. It might be a good idea to cut some of the tape off before you start, and you can stick it on the edge of your table ready to use. So I'm going to pop it in here to start with, so that I pin this piece down. So that goes in there, and then I just pop that on there. And then I'm going to cover the whole thing with double-sided tape. So I'm going to get my tape again, and I'm going to go round it. When you start with your double-sided tape, make sure it's over from the join so that it seals this bit down from the outside. Okay, so my join is there. I've started the tape over here. Okay, and I'm just going to tear that off, and I'm now going to peel that back. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that down like that because I don't want the sides to stick to anything. So we're now going to start with the rolls that are going to go. So if I pop that in there, we're going to start on these. So we've got a 6-point star. So we need six of those. So again, I need to break down the fibres in my paper. So this technique can be used, this paper rolling technique can be used to create other things. I've seen some lovely hearts created with it. Obviously it's approaching Christmas, so we're doing some stars for Christmas. So again, we're going to start by folding a very tiny fold at the start. It's probably not even half a centimetre to try and start, and then we're going to keep rolling. So you roll, and once you get it to probably about this size, you can then pop your thumb and forefinger on top, and it just makes it a little bit quicker. There we go. And again, we're going to pop some tape in the middle there. What I should have done was to have had some of these ready, shouldn't I? So that I only needed to do one. Okay, so we pop that there. And then we are going to seal the whole thing down. Again, move your tape away from the join so that you come over the join and it sticks quite tightly. So if you're using glue, you put a nice dab of glue on the inside of the join, and hold it for a few minutes while the glue dries. You could have, if you've got some large pegs, you might be able to open the peg and let the peg hold it closed. So now I'm going to pop this on here. So there we go. That's our first dot on there. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this video and I'm going to roll up the rest of them so that you don't have to watch me do 6 of those. So I'm just going to pause for a minute. So I'm on the last circle. As you can see, this one's turning out nice and colourful. And just to tell you how many strips you need, so we did 5 strips in the centre, and we've got 6 around the outside here, and we're going to need 2 for the points of the stars. So that's 13 strips that you need in total. So we'll do this last one quickly. Okay, we just put a little bit of tape in there. Peel that off. And then we're going to wrap that in tape again. So we'll come away from the edge of the join, and we're just going to wrap that in double-sided tape and peel that off. There we go, and that's the last one. So we've got a little bit of space between each one. I mean, that looks nice just as it is. You could hang that up, but we're going to put the points of the stars on. So we've got the last 2. This one's quite nice, yellow for a star. Okay, so you put the neatest side to the top of the star. So this one, there's folds underneath. So I'm just going to use this side. Just got a single fold on the top. And I'm going to measure, just quickly measure where my point might be. So it's about 3 centimeters. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that out. So I'm going to fold back about the 1st centimeter here. Because what we're going to need is the other piece of paper to sit in there. Now try not to, when you're measuring, try not to get it stuck to the other to the circles. I'm going to go with that. So now, we're going to fold evenly. So we're going to zigzag fold this, and if you feel your points need to be sharper, it's quite a good idea actually to give each fold a little rub with the pencil. So I'm now folding back in the other direction, exactly the same amount. And I'm just going to sharpen that off with a pencil. Okay, keep going. Give that a little rub with the pencil. And the kids will have fun watching their favourite characters folding through or rolling through when they're making their rolls. Okay, so we're going to start and we're just going to pop that in there. Then we're going to get the next one. Actually, I'm going to turn this round because, as I said earlier, we want the single fold up and I'd started the wrong way round. So in fact, I'm going to start by putting the V into the center, and then I'm going to come along to the next one, and just be careful not to get stuck on your circles as you're trying to push it through. So because you've covered these in double-sided tape as well, or glue. So you just pop that in there, give it a little squeeze, make sure it's nice and tight, and then come along to the next one here. And here we go, we can give it a little squeeze. And you can see our star taking shape. How pretty is that? So we're going to come in here. Now we haven't got a full length to work with here, so we're just going to pop it in. Sorry, can you see what I'm doing? Just move it sideways. So this one is a little bit harder because it is getting stuck to the other one. But just try and pop it through. Just pull this back to the side if you need to, and then pop that down there. So then we're going to get our other one, and what we need is for it to slip into that fold. Actually, we'll start from this side, it's going to be easier. So we're going to let it slip. Again, we're going to use the side that has the fold up, and we will be popping this in here so that we've got a little join there. So I need to fold that much back first. So I'm just going to fold that so that so that's going to be hidden out of the way. I'm just going to test how much I need. So that's how much I need. And we're going to, again, fold. You won't need so much this time, but we're going to do it. I'll fold the whole thing anyway. And just give your pencil a rub down so you get your sharp edges, sharp points for the star. So when you're doing this, you can make different shapes and different sizes of this, so you can actually make them much bigger. And I have made them much bigger, but when you are doing them much bigger, it's actually quite handy to use a glue gun. Obviously, if children are using a glue gun, you need to supervise them with that, but the glue gun actually supports the weight of the paper quite well. Okay. So here we go. So we're going to pop, making sure that's the right way up. So the fold is here, and we're just going to pop that in there, and then we're going to pop it into the center. So there we go. And then we're going to come to here, and you might need to prise them apart slightly just to get it into the center. There we go. And give that little squeeze to get your star point, and then we're going to go to here, and we're going to grab a scissors, and we're just going to chop that off. There. We're going to grab another little bit of double-sided tape, and we're going to stick that down. I should have done that before I popped it in there, really. It would have been easier, but there we go, and we've got that. So there we go. How pretty is that? So if you want to hang the star, you can just pop a piece of string through the middle of one of the stars here. What might be useful is to pop a piece of tape the whole way down the back so that it supports the weight. so that because you're going to put all the weight of the star just on one point. So I think just popping a piece of tape the whole way down the back of it will help it to support that weight. But here we go. Okay, that's it for now, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.